What's up, y'all? Today I'm going to share what I think is one of the biggest and best mindset shifts you can make as a business owner, especially if you are the type of business owner who wants to grow beyond the solopreneur or freelancer stage, or if you're already beyond that stage. This has come up with coaching clients several times from several different people with different sorts of circumstances. But the theme of this question, or at least my answer back to the problems that are presenting in their businesses, is this mindset shift. So when I see a trend like this happening, certainly there's got to be some of you who are listening to this who are asking yourself the same question or struggling with similar things. This is the Profit and Prosper podcast, the podcast that teaches female business owners how to pay themselves six figures from their businesses without having to sacrifice their lives today. So here is the mindset shift, y'all. Your business is not the same as you. You and your business are two completely separate entities. The income that you make in your business is not the same as your money. If you have any roadblocks or failures or issues or client complaints or anything like that in your business, the prices that you set in your business, that is not a reflection of your worth and your value as a human being. We have to separate your business from you personally. And I don't necessarily mean, with branding or messaging or marketing or any of that, because your business very well could be a personal brand. Like I've got a personal brand business. I think when we attach too much of our own self-worth and value to what happens in our businesses, when we attach our own safety and security to the money that you make in your business, I think this is a recipe for a lot of mindset spirals and more stress and anxiety and overwhelm than you need to add on to your plate, which is already, frankly, probably pretty full. So I'm going to give you a couple examples of where this comes up. Several podcast episodes back, I did an episode on how I address client complaints. We address some of the things that happened in winter 2024 and how I had to learn to make the shift to put my business owner hat on versus taking everything personally, taking all of the complaints as a statement about my own personal character and ability to succeed in business. So go check that one out if you didn't listen to it already, because I think it perfectly illustrates what I'm talking about. But another example of where this has come up is with clients making an investment. What I mean is you are hiring a team member. Maybe you're going to test out ad spend. Maybe you're going to invest in some sort of learning or development or coaching. When you are making a personal investment like this, it can be so much scarier if you view making that investment out of your business as coming out of your personal money. So an example would be hiring a team. This conversation comes up almost all the time. Employees, or maybe a full-time employee versus hiring contractors, very, very part-time support, because it is a shift. It's a lot more of an investment to hire that like full-time or employee support than it is to have just sort of here and there contract support. So a lot of times business owners will view their business's money as their own, especially if they're used to taking their sales and turning around and putting it into their personal bank account. And so when you go to hire a team member, especially if you don't come from a background of business owners or people who make investments, whether it's in business or real estate or retirement or whatever, even retirement, like you may not really truly see the thought process behind investing like you would if you grew up around other business owners or people who had real estate or whatever. When you go to make this investment, if you view that money as your money, as taking away from you, I see that triggering people's scarcity responses like nothing else. And this is whether you have the cash flow where every dollar that comes into your business basically goes either out the door to expenses or into your personal bank account as quickly as it comes in, or even for people who have a lot of cash stockpiled in their business, they still tend to view that as their money, as their safety net. And obviously you're the business owner, you own the business. Technically it is your money. Like you have the authority to pull it out if you want to. But what I'm saying is that if your goal is growth, if your goal is to get beyond the solopreneur or freelancer stage, especially, you need that cash flow to be invested into things to continue growing. And sometimes that has to take a higher priority than even, your personal funds would. Let's say that you have an offer that is $1,000 a month, and you sit down and you figure out how much time it would take for somebody to prepare all of the deliverables for that client, for that offer. And you decide it's going to take 10 hours at $30 an hour. And so that's going to cost you $300 to outsource that preparation. What I see a lot of people do is they'll think of that $1,000 as their money, and then they're paying somebody $300 out of their own pocket. Versus when you step back and separate yourself from your business, put your business owner or CEO hat on and really think about what's best for business growth, you're going to shift the way you think about it in terms of the margin. So what I mean by the margin is if you have an offer that you get $1,000 for, and then it costs you $300 to deliver that offer, you are netting $700 or a 70% margin. I personally would take that deal all day, every day. So when you shift your thinking from, hey, let me focus on profitability versus the revenue, let me figure out, instead of saying, if I need $10,000 a month to pay myself, that's 10 sales at $1,000 a piece, versus if you hire somebody else to do the prep work, to do all the deliverables for each of those offers, that's going to cost you $300 per client. You're going to net $700. And so if you do the math, you would say, okay, if I shift my thinking, I need, what's 10,000 divided by 700? 14 clients in order to net the same amount after you pay for the support. So in this case, your options are have 10 clients where you're doing everything for them, or have 14 clients where somebody else manages the deliverables for you. I know which one I'm going to go with, but I think the problem is when we view that $300 times 14 clients, $4,200 that you have to pay somebody else to handle those 14 clients, you view that as coming out of your pocket. That is a recipe for never getting over the fear of growing your business. What I want to ask you is, as you go about your week this week, I want you to notice if there's anywhere where you feel you are tying your own self-worth or your personal safety or your personal happiness to the success of your business. Now, I absolutely want to acknowledge, and I talk about how important it is to pay yourself consistently. People will come to me and they're like, I need every dollar that my business makes. And in that case, you really need to step back and reassess your business model, reassess your offers and pricing and lead generation, because there is no business model out there that I'm aware of that the only option for you is to make a low profit that just barely gets you by. I think every business model can be shifted to make you more money if you structure it the right way. But outside of that, notice where you might be tying yourself more to your business than you really need to be, and ask yourself how you can shift back and really put on your business owner hat instead more often than thinking of me, myself, and I is the person or the entity who's doing all the things. And the last thing I want to say too is that this is different than not taking personal responsibility, because I think as business owners, as a CEO, we absolutely do have to take personal responsibility and be a leader to make sure that our businesses are successful, to make sure that we're doing the things that help make our businesses successful. But that's not the same thing as tying your own self-worth to the success of your business. So that's it for today, y'all. I would love to hear if you have any thoughts or mindset shifts that you have had to make in your business that you have found helpful. If you have anything you want to share, drop them in the comments under this video, and I hope this was helpful. I'll see you back next time.